Hey everyone, Professor Oak. Got another data video here for you today. A new one with a twist. This one is one we are going to talk about eBay sold sales for the past 365 days of booster boxes, 2021 booster boxes. So we're going to talk about Battle Styles and Chilling Reign, Evolving Skies, and Fusion Strike. Talk about their data, their price points, the volume of sales, dollar ranges, the amount sold, maybe even who sold them. Could dive into that. Not a lot of people know we have this available in the Seller Hub, so I just wanted to put it out there and kind of go through for those that aren't maybe in the sales realm of eBay, more of a purchaser, collector, investor, may not know that this data even exists. So let's dive into it. We'll start out with Battle Styles. You can see right here, we've got release date obviously was mid-March. You can see huge spike in volume of sales. These bars are the amount of items sold. What I did was I created a filter for all the booster boxes for Battle Styles that were sold on eBay. So this is the amount sold per day. You can see here total sold is 400 there. So this line's 400. So we're selling a few hundred a day of Battle Styles when it first was released. Even some pre-orders when it first got announced. But this line, what I'm trying to look for is the correlation between this line and the bar graph, because the line is the average dollar for that day, price point of which those boxes were sold. So we can see pre-orders were obviously kind of about where they should be, and then as soon as the box hit, prices dropped a little bit and then people started buying, went crazy for it. People wanted Battle Styles. It was in a new set, so obviously got a lot of sales. But I think people pretty quickly, you can see right about here, the end of March coming into mid-March, moving towards April, definite drop off in sales. This bar graph jumps down a fair bit from 400 a day to the 200, 250 kind of range, and then it's stuck on that line, sorry. And then price, as you can see, ever since release date, kind of jumped slightly, trying to figure out where the market was, where we're at, what we're doing. And then as prices started to go down and down and down, so did interest. Prices started to go down to try and creep that back up. And then when it hit a certain point, which looks about this 110 creeping into the 100 range, you can see the bar graph there pretty clearly here around coming into June. Pretty clearly, as soon as it drops down, people are buying. I mean, the closer these lines are, the more it means that the price is matching the demand, essentially. So as this goes down and this is coming up, that's great. And as prices moving into the August range, as prices start to creep slightly back up with the average listing sale, you can see that demand just completely drops off. I mean, nobody wants to pay 100 plus for a Battle Styles booster box. It's just not there. And then again, people, there's some sales out there, but not many. And then we can see here prices just absolutely vomit, drop down, go crazy, and people start buying again. You can see there's an uptick in sales in that graph, moving from early fall, late summer through into winter, and then where we are now is there's people are buying because it's $80. It's an $80 booster box. Why not? So there's definitely some sales going on there. If we look over here at the information that kind of builds this graph, you can look 117 is the average sold price. So that's taking into account a huge amount of listings right here. If we did it for the past few months, I think that would be a very different story. But overall, for the past year, that's the average. I set a price range to filter out any wrong listings that were messed up. Average shipping 1287. I think that's important to know. People are listing free shipping or not, because you can see here most people are. That's free shipping sells for sure. People want that, and we can see in the past year 40,000 booster boxes sold just on eBay of battle styles. That's a huge amount. That came from 2,000 sellers through eBay. I would think 90% of it came from the top 10% of sellers, and you'll see why in a second. $4.6 million worth of booster box sales for battle styles the past year. Insane. So, we talk about it not being a love set, not being much demand, not being great. $4.5 million worth of great just on eBay alone. There's definitely sales there. If we move down slightly, you can actually see some of the sellers that were listing. This guy here, we can actually go into his listing probably, but we've got free shipping, 96% free shipping. Most of these are providing free shipping, like we talked about. It's definitely that point. 126, 115, 105, 83. So very different price points for the average sold price that they had. I would imagine that this person probably sold the most right out the gate at 126, and this person is probably selling hot right now at 83. And then you can see total sold. These guys are selling thousands and thousands. These are the big hitters. Total sales, this one listing alone, $500,000. And the last one he sold was March last year. So yeah, obviously that was like a pre-order, early first stock. And again, this $83 price point last sold was today. So that kind of explains that price difference. Getting in right out of the gate with the selling of product on release is obviously beneficial in terms of profit margins, but getting $500,000 worth, $483,000 worth of stock in, 4,000 boxes. It's no easy feat. That's not just someone in their, Rudy basement, Rudy bathroom doing that kind of stuff. Scott and Pratt basement. It's just not happening at 4,000 boxes. I mean, you need a warehouse. So very interesting to see this stuff. Let's jump into Chilling Reign. We've got here again, kind of a similar story. A little bit more of volume recent though, so we can see. We had a release date that it came through a few months after. It was June time, and you can see here peak hit. We had some pre-orders coming through, and then sales price was fairly consistent. Fairly decent set right out of the gate in terms of volatility. Right around 120, 125, dropping slightly 120, that kind of range. Very high sales with that after the set came out. Start to wean off. You can see the bar graph, it starts to dip down. Prices remained fairly consistent, and then as stock and availability dropped off, market tried to figure out what was going on with pricing. Like, where should I price this, because there's not too many sales happening. As prices start to come down, we know, just like battle styles, the prices have been jumping down the past couple of months. You can see inventory, people buying inventory just blasting again. I mean, people want to spend $90 for a booster box. Right here, 80. A lot of people are jumping on that bandwagon for Chilling Reign. It's not the same story. If we jump back to battle styles, people are not loving $80 battle styles. It's just not. It's not there. But Chilling Reign, I mean, data speaks for itself. You can see pretty clearly. So that's exciting. Moving into, well, actually, let's take a look at this real quick. So average sold price again, 130, and that's over the year. So that's probably different. Slightly less on the sold listings, but again, it was released months later. So we've got to account for the past few months there. Again, free shipping, very, very high, 1,300 sellers. 4 million in sales. It's all very comparable very close to Battle Styles, but it was 3 months behind, in having a complete year's sales. So, well, not a complete year, but a complete year of me taking it. So it's very interesting. Moving into Evolving Skies, very different story. So we can see 120. When we're coming up to this set coming out, boom. I mean, prices not dropping. It's a loved set. The lowest we're talking here is 100. We're not talking $80 booster boxes for Evolving Skies. It's too loved. There's too many hitters in the set. There's too many fun cards, fan favorites. There's everything you would want in there, and it's selling. The consistent volume. These numbers aren't dropping. Low bars. We're not near the bottom, zeroing out on any days. I mean, here even at 150, 145, we're still selling. I mean, that's probably close to sold 50 a day. Booster boxes still there. So as the prices start to come down a little bit, drop to 126. Wow. I mean, look at that bar graph. Everybody's jumping on it. They know that if prices drop on this, like, I got to get involved. I got to get into this. So again, very, very interesting, the correlation there between the prices and the amount sold. It's a pretty clear distinction when we're talking about right here. The first week of November, sudden drop off in price. Everybody starts trying to clear out inventory. I think that was when the other wave came out, along with Battle Styles and Chilling Reign. A lot of product was dumped with celebrations and everything else that was going on at that point in November. But still consistent sales. This bar graph is just full of sales ever since day one. I mean, it really has been. Excuse me. And then when we talk about the amount sold, we've got months and months after Battle Styles, months after Chilling Reign, and it's sold more boxes. Very clear data that Evolving Skies is a loved set and comparable to those two. So, yeah, again, interesting. $5 million in sales on eBay alone. Fusion Strike, this may take a second, being a little slow. So much less data for that. It's a much newer set, much more recent. But again, people are a little concerned about it selling. This $111 price point, 110 creeping down, working through December at $100 booster boxes, dropping into the 90s. There's a lot of sales. I mean, it's there, 120 a day. This is the 120 line, right? Coming across here, the first line. It's selling. People want Fusion Strike. Even though it's cheap, it's not leveling out. I mean, it's newer. There are some fan favorites in there. There's beautiful SBR. There's a couple of cool Mew cards in there. A couple of nice sidekicks that look nice. But for the most part, it's not doing as bad as people are talking about. It's selling. You can see this bar graph pretty clearly. Every single day, people are buying booster boxes for Fusion Strike. It's not got the lack of interest. And it's done 50% of Battle Styles and Chilling Reign sales already. We're talking 2-3 months of sales, and it's already done 50% of what they've done in the past year. So, since last March, it's very interesting. Average sold price 109. It's probably fairly accurate. Other than the first initial spike, it's not too far off. It's probably more like the 100 range. And, past month or so, maybe slightly over. Again, free shipping. It's what's selling. 18,000 sold. So just thought I'd share that with you guys. Just take a look at what really is truly happening with booster boxes on eBay, what's selling, and for how much, the patterns and the correlations. I find this stuff interesting. You guys let me know in the comments below if you do, if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. I could pull more data and run through it, give me my thoughts and my concept of it. But yeah, leave a like, subscribe, let me know in the comments, like I said, what you think, and yeah, have a good one. Take care, guys.